In this video, I'm going to give you some real and practical tips on how to boost your score in the IELTS writing test, particularly from band 6.5 to band 7 or even band 8, and why so many candidates get stuck on 6.5 even though they're already trying to use a range of complex structures. For example, passives, subordinate clauses, conditional sentences, modal verbs. I've even seen some candidates stuck on 6.5 and they're able to use inversion, and that's considered an advanced structure. So why are they stuck on 6.5? It's because they keep making those basic mistakes, and here they are. Okay, so the first error is missing plural noun s. The second one, adding plural s to uncount nouns. And the third is subject-verb mismatch. Fourth is adding be verb before a present simple verb. And the fifth one is missing definite article. Missing plural noun s. You probably already know this. Well, you should if you're trying to get 7 or more. Remember to use s, es or ies for plural nouns. There are some examples. And here are some common mistakes. There are some other course. Provides many chance, classes attended by student. Is one of the mainstream of business program. Here's a tricky one though. People think that the word one means that it should be stream, but actually it's one of a group, and the group should be plural. We also have group discussion. All of these are missing the plural s. This would stop someone from getting a band 7. It could even keep you at a band 5 if you're making these in every sentence. Because remember, to score a 5, you would have frequent mistakes. Okay, and some of those mistakes cause difficulty for the reader. But even if those mistakes don't cause difficulty for the reader, the fact that you've got frequent mistakes will keep you at a 5. But in most cases, people wouldn't make them in every sentence. They probably make them every second or every third sentence. So that will keep you at a band 6. The second type is adding plural s to uncount nouns. Don't add an s to the end of an uncount noun. There are some examples. And here are some sample mistakes. The company is getting rid of all its furnitures. It should be furniture. The document can help any new staffs to better understand the organization. Very common mistake. It should be staff. Staff is uncountable. If you want to count them, you can actually say staff members or members of staff. And in fact, today I saw another method which was to call it staffers, S-T-A-F-F-E-R-S. But I think that might be a little casual, so I would stick with staff members and members of staff. If you do use the word staffs with an S, then you've changed the word meaning to the countable version. And what's that? That's a staff. And I'm not talking about the person, I mean the thing that he's holding. Subject-verb mismatch. Use the correct verb form S or no S for the subject. Okay, first or second person singular, I or you don't use the S form. But for the third person singular, he, she, it, etc., use the S form. She has, he doesn't have, our course hasn't. And for the third person plural, use the non-S form. The courses have, our subjects don't have. For example, here are some sample mistakes. The marketing department require many staff to cooperate. Again, this is a red flag to an examiner. They understand exactly what you're saying, obviously, but you've just forgotten the S, so your English becomes broken. All of the skills that I learnt really helps my daily work. Skills, plural, you need help, not helps. When the marketer make a decision, it should be makes. Adding be verb before present simple verb. Now, before we go to the mistake, I'll just show you where you do need to use the be verb. The be verb is am, is, are, or been, and you do use it in front of present continuous or passive voice. For example, scientists are debating. Passive voice, sand is added. You can also use it in front of adjectives, nouns, or noun phrases. For example, if the project is successful. Is an important issue. Successful is an adjective and an important issue is a noun phrase. So here's the mistake. Don't use be in front of a present simple verb. So don't try and change it to the passive voice unnecessarily. Sample mistakes. The classes are last 90 minutes each. Delete the are. Keep the last. The subjects are included marketing fundamentals. Here they've added the be verb and they've changed the present simple to the past participle and tried to make this a passive. Delete the are, delete the d. It should be the subjects include. Since I was graduated. Well, in this case, you would keep the past tense verb of the graduate. It would be graduated, but delete the was because you don't need the passive. Since I graduated. The last one is missing definite article the. Most people know the general rule, which is use the before nouns when there is only one, or the reader knows which one you're referring to. But there are other rules or exceptions to the rule, or special cases, let's say. That's why this is page 1 of 3 pages. This is the easy situation. For superlative adjectives, for example, the biggest, the most interesting. Hong Kong is the most expensive city in the world to live in. If it's a unique thing, place, or figure in our world or context, you need the. The moon, the Queen of England, the CPU, the kitchen. And when you're talking about things that are already mentioned, or something that is already mentioned, you use the. There is a mountain range west of the mountains. We know which mountains we're talking about because we've already mentioned it. Another situation, which is not part of the general rule, is for musical instruments. The guitar, the piano, the violin, etc. Cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, after the word in or after the word to. To the west of Sydney, there is a mountain range called the Blue Mountains. In the east are the expensive beach suburbs. You can see to the west because the area I'm talking about, the mountain range, is outside the area of Sydney. And in the east because the suburbs are in that area, Sydney. Many systems or services, for example, the internet, the radio, the MTR, the police, the fire brigade, etc. Adjectives that describe general groups, the poor, the rich, the needy, the elderly, the community. Now, there is an exception to this rule. When talking about society in general, you don't need the. You say in society, but you need to use the for community. And the last situation is for abstract concept nouns, usually before the word of. The adoption of, the urgency of the situation, the presence of or the lack of, and the importance of. Some sample mistakes with the definite article. A lower position in public's mind. It should be the public's mind, just like the community. Which can improve efficiency in office. It should be the efficiency. I might say in the office, or you could also say of the office. Almost all of knowledge we studied. Okay, here we have a reduced relative clause. That means that the word that could be added here to have the same meaning. It's optional. And without the word that, it's reduced. Now we know which knowledge we're talking about. It's the knowledge that we studied, so we need the. By the way, a reduced relative clause, that means this relative clause without the word that, can help you improve your grammar score from band 5 to band 6. Okay, here's some practice. These are mistakes that I've taken from the writings of my college students in Hong Kong. And some of them I've given you hints for, and some of them contain more than one error. Pause the video and see if you can find the errors. Feel free to write your answers in the comment section. Okay, I'll move on to the next page. Again, pause the video and try to find the errors. Okay, just a reminder, the most important thing is to avoid those basic errors if you're trying to score a 7 or more. If you have any questions or comments, please write them in the comment section below the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.